You are looking live. We are here tonight live on SCM After Hours. Going to talk a little bit about some Smackdown. Going to talk some news in the world of wrestling. I am here right now. We're momentarily waiting on the one and only Johnny Bottles. He will be joining us shortly, having a few disconnect issues, but I promise you he will be coming in like the Ultimate Warrior. You're not going to know when it happens, but it's going to happen. But I wanted to say this. We got to talk tonight and decided when SmackDown is this good, when wrestling is this good, when you have a program that says, damn it, son, this is what I love about wrestling. We both said we got to do a show tonight. So we're going to wait on Johnny Bottles as long as possible. He's having a little bit of a interruption problem. He's having some technical difficulties, baby. If you can reach to the screen right now and let me know, Johnny Bottles, we love you, baby. We're waiting on you, son. We want you to come join us live, baby. He has not called me and told me my horse is sick. It's none of that. We're waiting on my man. He waited out a hurricane. He is incomprehensibly always here when we need him, but he will be here. But I want to talk about a couple of things first. Before we get into SmackDown, because we're going to talk about SmackDown, there is also some other wrestling news we got to talk about. And I want to hear from the chat on this. What are some of the issues you have all seen that got your attention? The one that got me, not sure if you ladies and gentlemen saw this or not, which, by the way, thank you for joining us tonight. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. We are here on a night that we don't usually do this show because SmackDown was so good. But have you heard about The Rock? The Rock was here for Bad Blood. The Rock was here, came out, made a grandioso entrance and said, hey, here comes Johnny Bottles. Be ready. Be ready for the one and only because he's coming in. Bottles, I was just telling the fans because I knew you had some complications. Thank you for joining us tonight. But I wanted to get the show live and in person, baby. I said reach through the screen because Bottles is coming in like the Ultimate Warrior, baby. It ain't going to make no sense, but he's going to be here, daddy. He's going to be here. He's going to cut a promo you might not understand, but you're going to feel it, baby. And then I said, my horse is sick. That's not Johnny Bottles. He going to be here.
I've never seen an operating system, Don, when a computer needs so many GD updates as Windows. It's just mind-boggling. I turned this thing on at 10:05. Okay, I got time to go to the bathroom. I got time to make a drink.
No, you don't.
And here we are. But it's 10:19,
here, baby. But you're here, baby, and that's what matters. You know what I'm saying? I told the folks we're going to talk some SmackDown. We're going to talk some news. The biggest news that's come out is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And you and I have both heard these reports. We've both seen the news that he will not be at WrestleMania 41. That's what Uncle Dave Meltzer says. That's what the king of the dirt sheet says. That's what the guy that told us CM Punk would not be at Survivor Series says. Bottles, I want your opinion. Yes or no? Is he full of shit or is he sniffing glue or both?
Meltzer is FOS, pal. He's FOS.
All right.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will be at WrestleMania. The guy is on the board of directors for this company. It's the biggest show of the year next year in 2025. Of course he's going to be there. Of course, with him being integrated into the Bloodline storylines, the Cody Rhodes title picture, he'll be there.
You think he's going to be there regardless? Is that correct?
Regardless, whether he's got a match or not, he will be there. He'll interfere, he'll appear, he'll do whatever. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will be at WrestleMania 2025. And where's it going to be, Don? Vegas?
Vegas. Yes, sir.
I know another man who's going to be there, an old friend of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's, a man who's in training right now.
I'm curious, who?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Shut the front door.
You know he does live. He's got a house in Vegas, in Nevada.
I know he's got one in Nevada. Liam Judge says, "What's up, Square Circle Maniacs? This is my favorite wrestling podcast. Just wanted to say hey and make a small donation to the show." Liam, we appreciate your donation, pal. We appreciate you showing up week in and week out. We appreciate everybody who shows up for this show. We are literally the small podcast trying to make it in this world of professional wrestling. We are just fans, as we have said since day one. We don't pretend to be reporters. We don't pretend to be anything outside of people that see shows that we like and say what we did like, what we didn't like, and why we think it's failing. Tonight, Smackdown was a grand slam in the 9th inning. The whole show made sense from start to finish. Thank you again. Super chats are open. We appreciate your support. We appreciate everybody's support that tunes in week and week out. By the way, tip a cup for your favorite peoples. Having said that, I am surprised that Dave Meltzer, 6-7 months out, went out and said, "It's not going to happen. He's totally not going to be there. That's why he's showing up now."
He also had said something last year that CM Punk's he's not coming to WWE. Right. He's not going to be in the WWE. Dave Meltzer says a lot of things. A lot of things, I believe, that come to him in a fever dream while he's propped up in his office amongst all the trash, all the garbage in his office, all the used Kleenexes, the piles and piles of Wrestling Observers going back to 1982, stacked up like cordwood in that dirty office that smells like feet and garlic. They give you a vivid depiction of his office?
I've seen his office, right? So
a lot of us have seen his office. Pictures of it on Twitter, pictures of it online. Yeah, it's a show, pal. It's a show.
I did have a question for you. An oh, by the way moment. We talked about the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix several weeks ago when it first debuted.
Yes.
Question for you. Have you seen it yet?
No, because it's all the same stuff. That documentary's for people who, oh yeah, Vince McMahon, WWF, Stone Cold, all those guys. People who remember it from 30 years ago and who watched it then casually. But, we are two individuals who have our fingers in the pulse of professional wrestling. Not quite 24/7, but close to it. And we follow the history of professional wrestling, all the nuances, all the data on a granular level. I like that phrase. I'm using that a lot this week. What a granular level, and we know all the extra saucy tidbits of nuggets of information that the general public's not aware of with Vince McMahon. A lot of the people in the general public aren't aware of the lawsuit by Janelle Grant. They really aren't. A lot of people don't realize that's going on right now, but it is.
Right.
So I'm not going to mention anything about that. But let's say the stuff that we know about, everyone in the IWC knows about, that's not covered in that podcast. I'm not in that podcast. And that Netflix special.
Right, in that show.
Miniseries. It's the miniseries is all amateur compared to what actually the other stuff that went down. So you get what I'm saying. There's more dirt to be exposed, and none of that stuff was any shock to anybody who followed wrestling all these years.
Thank you, Liam, again for the $10 super chat. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody again so much because we didn't have this show playing, and I called Bottles about halfway through SmackDown and said, "Bruh, are you watching this shit? Because it's as good as it gets." This is the best SmackDown they've done in months.
My wife said, "Look up at that cloud up there in the sky. It's a big spotlight. It's got a beer bottle in it." I said, "Don, put out the bottle signal."
Oh, that's when you know it's serious, when the bottle signal goes up. This was so good, but we're not going to get there yet. I got a few other things to talk about. Alexa Bliss addresses fans questioning about her potential AEW return. Did you see this today?
Yes, but did that really come from Alexa Bliss, or did it come from a sock account?
It came from
People
her. No,
pretending
it
to
was
be
her.
Alexa Bliss?
It was her. It was her
Because
account.
she says, I'm paraphrasing. I'm going to be making my return, but in the meantime, just keep watching for my new content. My new content. Who talks like that? My new content.
I want to make sure you caught that, because she's not going to give you her return, folks. This is the whole point of it. She's gearing up for return. I said months ago, did I not, Bottle, she would not be returning in 2024. I said that months ago, did I not?
You did. She's got a daughter at home who's got
Special needs.
Some cranial. Well, she's not. I mean,
special needs. Look, let's just leave it at that. She's got some special needs.
Not mental, but physical. She's got a couple things going on, but things
Yeah,
are going to be
she's trying
corrected
to-
with
yeah.
where she's trying to correct it. She's wearing the headgear and all that other stuff. But anyway, you know,
Getting in the ring and wrestling
I
a fat
sleep-
280-pound Amazon woman is the last thing on her mind.
right. And I sleep with a helmet on too, so I mean, you don't have to worry about that. You just got to watch your head.
My wife does now. She figured that shit out early in our marriage.
Of course.
I'm telling you, if Andre the Giant slams me one more damn time in my dreams, I'm going to shit a brick in that bed. I'm tired of kicking out at 2, pal. I'm tired of kicking out at 2.
So in other words, instead of being gelatinous, it's going to be brick-like. It's
just coming out.
It usually is. Okay.
God, I'm out. I'm kicked out again.
Because you
It
know,
is what it is.
Andre's been known to defecate in many beds.
He's also been known to defecate in freaking tubs because they didn't have enough room for him on the stool.
Or the toilet.
Yeah, on the stool.
On
I'm
the
not going to
porcelain
talk about what a
convenience. Yes.
I'm not going to talk about a Blumpkin. We're not going to discuss that here. If you don't know what it is, kids, don't Google the shit. Just know it's very disgusting. It's
a
the
blue
worst thing.
pumpkin, kids. It's a blue
No.
pumpkin. A blumpkin.
It's not.
We'll just let it go with
Holy
that.
shit. Don't throw it in your Google machine. You'll have to burn your phone immediately. Also in the news,
Yes.
CM Punk's not going to Saudi Arabia.
We already talked about that.
I know. It's so funny. It just cracks me up that some people were late to the party on this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
oh, that's why he's not going to be on TV. He doesn't want to go to Saudi. We know this. He's made this very, very well-known knowledge since the time he arrived in WWE. He's taken a political stance. Right, wrong, or indifferent, this is what he believes in, right? And God bless him. I don't blame the
Well,
guy for this. It is what it is.
He might not be on TV on the main shows, but he might be on TV in NXT because they're not going to Saudi Arabia. And
They're not.
Backstage at NXT the other night, Tuesday night. He was there, offering moral support and words of encouragement to the young talent of NXT.
And then he said, give me a Blumpkin.
Give me a blue pumpkin. Bring me the blue pumpkin.
Vince McMahon appears every time you say Blumpkin 3 times. Anyway.
Yes. He said, Jada Parker, bring me the blue pumpkin, please. Thank you. My
We're
wife's,
going to move on.
My wife's passed away. Well, she's just very, very sick. Bring her. Go ahead.
Only in my dreams.
Debbie Gibson now. We've segued to Debbie Gibson.
We're going there. You've got some news I know you want to get off your chest, so I'm waiting for you to drop the knowledge bomb before we get into what was absolutely, without question, the past 4 months, the best SmackDown that I've seen on my television, bar none. It had me hooked, my son hooked, and my wife hooked. And when you get to those 3 demographics hooked in, you know you had a hell of a show.
Well, you know, there's a big story out right now. And you know, AEW was rumored to be signing with Fox. Swerve Strickland even said it. SmackDown, WWE, they're gone from Fox. They're gone from Fox, and we're coming in. We're going to be on Fox. We got Fox. We got TBS. We got 150. We got this. Well, man, we're going places. Well, yeah, AEW is going places. They're going down to Mexico on Fox Sports Mexico. That's what they signed, an agreement with Fox Sports Mexico for broadcast rights to All Elite Wrestling. So that was the rumored location, the rumored landing spot for AEW. Fox Sports Espanol in Mexico, not Fox, the actual network television show. No, not the network.
Which,
What do you
by the
think about
way,
that, Don?
well, when they went to from Fox nationwide, the network show, WWE, I mean, to FS1, they lost like 1.5 million viewers on average, I think.
Yeah, Fox Sports 1, when they were running Smackdown because of football or whatever, or baseball.
Baseball.
I think it was baseball that bumped them off most of the time. They were only doing like 780, 800,000 viewers.
Right, and they were doing 2.5, 2.4 at the time.
Yeah, so it's really.
I mean, that's a
really
hell of a
heinous.
bump down, man.
Although the last time they were on Fox,
You can speak English.
the last time they were on Fox Sports 1, good Lord, the rented lips. The last time they were on Fox Sports 1, recently, I think they did like 1.7 mil, 1.5 mil. It was outrageous. Everybody couldn't believe it. Like, what the heck happened? Of course, they were in the middle of a hot bloodline angle.
Right,
so.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
like
you
Cody
didn't.
Rhodes and all that stuff.
The hot rumor tonight, which we're going to get to SmackDown now. The hot rumor tonight. And I mean hot, baby. It was hot. It was so hot if you touched the TV, it might have burned your fingertips off. That's how hot it was. Was that The Rock was supposed to be here, but he wasn't.
No, The Rock wasn't. I didn't hear that The Rock was supposed to be there, but I did hear from Aldis on Twitter. He sent me a DM. No, he was actually on Twitter. He said, he said Roman Reigns is going to be appearing on SmackDown tonight. So whatever Aldis says, I would believe. So, yeah.
Well, I would have believed that too. I want to thank everybody again for joining tonight. Please like and subscribe.
Yes.
Hit that notifications button, also known as the ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. We're over 1,000 subs right now. We're trying to keep climbing. We want to keep that algorithm going. It helps us out a lot. We appreciate you guys and gals out there in the wrestling world because they're all both of you. There's no Blumpkin advice tonight, but I do got advice on the Friday Night SmackDown show. Jimmy Uso led this thing off.
Yes.
And after that WrestleMania match, I didn't give a shit if I ever saw another Uso as long as I lived. I really didn't. And as of right now, if Jey Uso went into a well and I never saw him again and they had a championship tournament for the Intercontinental Championship, I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't. But I'd want to see Jimmy Uso again, Bottles. I'd want to see Jimmy Uso cut a promo. I'd want to see Jimmy Uso have a title match. I want more Jimmy Uso as he led this show off. What do you think, my man?
I think you're exactly right. Jimmy Uso can talk. He can cut a promo. He doesn't lose his place. When he's doing a promo, much like his brothers lost his place many, many times when he's trying to cut a promo. Jimmy Uso looks like he knows more than 2 moves in the wrestling ring. Although he's got that go-to, jumping off the top rope a lot. He's got that, and he's got to stop doing that so many times in a match. Then again, Solo Sikoa's got to stop doing the same moves in a match. Learn a new move, fellas. Spice things up a little bit. Doesn't have to be flippy-dippy crap. Just learn a new move, a new hold, do something. But Jimmy is the better Uso, I would say. He doesn't have a snappy catchphrase, although I think that may be coming.
What do you think it is? So you don't know. You just feel like he's going to come up with one, is what you're saying.
I feel like something's going to be constructed for him, yes. To put on a T-shirt, to get him over. He needs that. And
he's over,
pal.
He
can carry it off in a promo, the facials. You know, you look at him and you can see what he's thinking, how he's feeling, by the expression on his face. He's fantastic at all that. And like I said, he can cut a promo.
I thought him leading off this show, I said, I got questions. And about 3 minutes into it, I said, I got no more questions. That's the Uso Jey was supposed to be. It really was. I'm sorry. You can hate me all you want, but he's the best Uso they've got this bunch. The guy cuts a promo like he means business. I felt everything he said tonight. And then he bleeds out the one and only Roman Reigns. Go ahead,
It was
Bottles.
a masterclass, Don, of Usiness.
I'm not feeling very Usy tonight, but I'll try.
You got to get that Usi in gear, pal.
And yes, I know the Motor City Machine Guns are debuting soon. I know those promos that they've been cutting out, those little, what do you call them? The vignettes? They're leading
they're
to,
called vignettes.
The Motor City Machine Guns, I know they're coming. I've got my eye on that. Again, I don't know how much I care because they're older guys now. 10 years ago, I'd have cared. 15 years ago in TNA, I'd have really cared because those guys were hot shit back then. Them and Beer Money, correct? Am I wrong there? And Beer Money.
They were the big acts in TNA. Big acts in TNA. Homegrown acts, I should say.
Right.
Those guys and Beer Money. I would think that they're coming in and they're immediately going to go into a feud with Santos Escobar and his crew. And they could also, at the same time, have a series of great matches with Ciampa and Gargano, two men who they're roughly the same size as the Motor City Machine Guns. So look for a lot of flippy-dippy moves and all that, flying through the air, busting heads, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be glorious if you like that sort of thing.
So out comes the one, the only, the OTC Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes to the ring and he says, going to change it up tonight. Says, acknowledge Big Jim. And I thought that was cool, right? Like, he's like, hey, give this guy some love. But then he said something in his promo that got everybody's attention. What was it? What was it? You've got to know what it was, Big Bottles. What did the tribal chief say that yours went, ooh?
He's not a wise man.
Hit the ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling for the notifications because that was a money shot, as Peter North would say.
Yes.
He said, I'm not a wise man. And everybody went, oh, shit, where the hell's Paul Heyman?
Right.
The minute he said that, you could feel it in the air. Everybody's got the same question. Roman Reigns, we love you. You can cut a promo. No one's saying you can't, right? No one's saying that you can't be out there hanging 10, just standing there, not having to be in Hawaii, right? Like, that's the old expression. I can hang 10, brother, and just stand here.
That's all he's got to do. I mean, he's got so much charisma and presence on the screen. He can just stand there and you wait for him to say something. You're wrapped in attention. Looking at Roman Reigns thinking, go ahead, say it. Go ahead. What are you gonna do? What is it? The wise man will be coming back. He's got to be coming back soon. The wise man will come back and he'll bring help. That's what my prediction is. I think we called that a couple of weeks ago. The wise man will return with associates to tamp down the new bloodline.
Look, in my opinion, this is just me. And I know that other people are going to be like, oh my God, you're just old school. The best manager in the history of professional wrestling is Bobby Heenan. I'm sorry, but he is. You can hate him. You can love him. Bobby Heenan was just the guy. Second was Jim Cornette. Yes, I know he's been gone a long time. I also know that for 20 plus years, he had the best tag teams and world champion. He managed Yokozuna. He was the mouthpiece for Yokozuna. You can't tell me Jim Cornette wasn't one of the best managers ever. Third's going to be Paul Heyman. And here's why. He disappeared for long stints at a time. The last 4 years has been one of the greatest runs ever. Bobby Heenan did it in the WWE for almost a straight decade. Let's not forget that.
I'm shocked by all this.
You can go to hell for lying. We talked about this.
You there's no love for Golden Boy Arnold Skolin?
Are you back on the meth? Have you been sniffing cat piss like they did at South Park?
You think I'm Jake?
Have you been cheesing?
Are you drinking it or sniffing it?
Are you cheesing again? Don. What is happening over there? I have no words right now.
Go ahead,
I have no words.
Go ahead, Don.
I thought this was great. I enjoyed this. And then the entire show changed when Jimmy said one thing. It's just me and you, Oos. Mm-hmm. We don't have a tribe anymore. Yep. And that's what this whole show was rated on, right? We are a two-man tribe. It's a chief and one Indian, so to speak.
You're right.
That's it. That's what they are right now.
They're working on a comeback story, and everyone loves a good comeback story.
Like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
She had cum on her back.
Easy now.
In that video.
Fella. Easy now, big fella.
Email
from YouTube incoming.
If you've seen Parks and Recreation, you get it. One of the greatest jokes they never showed.
The hard drives.
P. Diddy approves this message. I'm just saying. I thought, look, he said it. We are a chief of one. You, me, and nobody else. And we got to get these guys back. And I know you don't want to hear Jay, but that's the guy we got to get. I thought this was absolute gold. For me,
what did he say?
This was gold.
What did he say at the end of the show to Roman? What did Jimmy say?
I forget. Tell me.
He said, we need him, Oos. We need him.
Yes.
We need him. We need to get him back, Oos. And you know who he's talking about.
Oh, we all know who he's talking about. Anyway, this was gold.
Yeet.
You got to yeet.
He's got to get a yeet.
Next was Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight. Did you dislike it that much? Because I didn't think it was bad.
It wasn't bad, but I'm tired of Carmelo Hayes. I'm tired of looking at this kid every week. Tired of it. He's not a big name. He's not a star. When you hear he's coming up, that's a good hot pocket and relieve yourself time. Let the dogs out of time when you know Carmelo Hayes is coming up. When Michael Cole says Carmelo Hayes is next, and you'll say, and so's my bladder. Next.
I don't disagree with you. It's not gone the way I think they wanted it to go.
No.
I don't think he's he's a really good mid-card guy who fills space and time on a dark match. What he's not is prime time TV action. Gotta see it. That's just sort of how I feel. And maybe it's how they're presenting him.
So he's the old stereotypical wrestling company term. He's a good hand.
I agree with that. Yeah.
He's a good hand. Yeah.
LA Knight won.
Of course.
I mean, no one was surprised. It was what it was. Next was, of course...
What's going on, before you go any further, what's going on with Andrade's hair? Andrade was sitting ringside, if you haven't seen the show. And I guess he's looks like he's auditioning for a Breck Girl commercial. Did he still make that Breck shampoo? They must. That's what he looks like with that new hair he's got. I don't understand it. Like the ends of his, he's got like hair extensions in, and the ends are dipped in blonde dye or something. I'm not sure what that all is, but it's a waste of Andrade. I think he's loving it because he gets to talk. And,
well, yes, he's also getting
week.
A lot of TV time. Yes, and he's in a title thing. So you know how this best of 7 is going to end next week. I think we've been saying it for a while, right? No. DQ, right? It's got to be a DQ to where we get to a triple. Yeah, it's going to be. I've said it for weeks. It's going to be a triple threat at the crown jewel for the title. It's going to be that.
The thing with Carmelo Hayes, it just came to me while we're talking about this. When he was at NXT, the big part, Don, of the Carmelo Hayes act, his whole career at NXT, he was paired up with his best friend, Trick Williams. They were like Shawn Michaels and Diesel. Shawn Michaels and Diesel. When Trick Williams and him had that feud and they separated and they brought Carmelo up to the main roster, everyone said, what about Trick? How come he's not up there to finish the feud? He needs Trick Williams or someone else to play off of.
We're going to get there in a minute because out came the metaphor of Jakara, Jackson, and Lash Legend. I've never seen these women before. I don't know anything about them.
You're not
Lash
NXT
Legend.
Guy. You don't watch NXT all the time. So,
but Lash is the big girl, right? She's the tall ex-WNBA girl. She is a bona fide big chick. Like, I bought everything she did later, but that's not why we're here. As they come out, go ahead.
Like I said on the phone tonight when we were talking about this, Lash Legend was horrible a year and a half ago. horrible when they had her on screen. And she wasn't as jacked up as she is now. She's tall, but she wasn't as jacked up as she is now. There was a mixed tag match between Alpha Academy when they were all sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops. When they went down to NXT to give the rub to another team down there, and they wrestled Metaphor. And Ivy Nile was in the mix. And you figured little Ivy Nile is going to pair off against Lash Legend, which she did. But Otis was in the ring, and he got in Lash Legend's face. And Lash Legend, from a standing position, picked him up, Big Otis, and slammed him to the mat. Now, I'm not saying it was up over her head or anything like that. It was a little bit better than a Hulk Hogan Andre slam. But she did get him up and drop him, and the whole place went banana. So, big things from Lash Legend. She's come a long way, baby. She's come a long way. If you remember,
she clearly has real quick. If they got her here now, like that's all I'm saying. She's come a long way real fast if she's here already. So I want to talk about that real quick.
Jakara Jackson is a if you order Sasha Banks off of Wish.com, you got Jakara Jackson.
Do not. I will not sit here and let you disrespect the good goddamn name of her and compare her to Mercedes Moné.
What's her name again?
Hold on, be fine.
What's her name?
Miss Jackson. If you're nasty.
Miss Jackson. Yes.
If you're nasty.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. He's already miles ahead of Mercedes Moné as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. But this is where it gets interesting.
If B-Fab has a job in the WWE, any woman that can body slam Otis will have a job permanently in the WWE. B-Fab is horrible in the ring.
Okay. By the way, thank you all for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button. The like button, it's a thumbs up button. It takes you 2 seconds. And then hit the notifications button. We appreciate the support. Back to this, because this is where it gets weird. As these ladies are coming out, Kevin Owens just comes out of nowhere and takes over the segment, right?
Yes.
And they're screaming he's not supposed to be here, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what he's doing here. He's been suspended. And they cut the mic off. It's amazing. Totally great shit. This is what wrestling is supposed to be. There was no music to introduce Cody Rhodes. Nope. He just comes running out. Stage left. I want to fight this asshole. This is what I want to see in my wrestling show. Less music, more realistic shit. Guards, yes.
Realism. Kevin Owens ripping his shirt off. He's got the American Dream Dusty Rhodes t-shirt on. The two girls didn't know what to do. They're hiding. A guy in the front row punched his wife and kids in the mouth. They were all excited. The whole arena went banana. I'm going to work that banana word in as much as I can.
I can see this. By the way, Banana Williams, we miss you. I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed this segment the most of this show. I really did. I enjoyed.
1, bottle 0. Okay. Just keep it track. Just keep it track.
I enjoyed this portion of the show more than I thought I would because you didn't see this coming. It felt authentic. Like, bitch, I don't like you. And they're keeping me from kicking your ass. And Randy Orton comes out of nowhere and ends up having to punch Kevin Owens in the face to calm him down.
He tried to grab Kevin from behind, and Kevin back elbowed him right in the face, right in the yap. And Randy spun around and clubbed him right in the mouth and knocked him down. Great stuff.
It was the best part of the show, was it not?
It was. If it wasn't, it was number 2, a solid number 2.
So then we get the Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill versus Metaphor match.
Yes.
You knew where this was going. Right?
Well, actually, I didn't. I didn't know whether Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, who were outside of the ring, were going to interfere in this match, leading to a 3-way next week between the 3 teams. That could have happened. I didn't know whether that was going to happen. I didn't know whether the girls from NXT were going to beat Jade and Bianca due to interference by Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, leading to a rematch on NXT next week for Bianca and Jade to try to get the belts back. That would have been a great way to go, and also to drive the numbers up for NXT.
Got you. Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
So I thought it could have went either way. Look, I'm just telling you right now, we got to get out of that mindset of the WWE being predictable, because it's not predictable anymore.
Well, this whole show was a clear showcase of not being predictable. I thought we've already talked about a couple of them. There were a couple of segments tonight that were I didn't see it coming. I'm glad I didn't see it coming as a wrestling fan. It made me go, oh shit, really?
And this makes it rekindles the fandom.
Yeah, like shit, man, I love this.
Like a little man in Jacksonville says, it restores the feeling.
I thought you were to say I like cocaine, but okay.
Who?
Not saying his name because that would implicate me in something. Anyway, back to this. Randy Orton tells Cody Rhodes to get on the bus.
Folks, next Tuesday, look forward to the Johnny Bottles Pro Wrestling Podcast. Because Don will be in the Hooskow.
I never said a name.
They're suing me. They're suing me, Bottles.
I never said a name to that son of a bitch. Randy Orton tells Cody Rhodes, get on the bus. And Nick Aldis makes a joke. Who thought that of all people, Randy Orton would be the voice of reason? I thought that was great. What a shot. Everything about this was hilarious. If you didn't get it, you didn't get it, but I thought it was great. Nia Jax and Tiffany came out there. Naomi comes out. I didn't dislike the Naomi versus Nia Jax match. What did you think?
I thought it was great.
Nia Jax.
I was surprised by all the offense that Naomi got.
Like you said, be prepared to be surprised, because I did not see Naomi winning. I was like, oh my God, this was so good.
Right. And she also said, Jax also said, that at Crown Jewel, when I beat Liv Morgan, you can take the Money in the Bank contract and cash it in on Liv Morgan.
Yes.
And then it'll be Tiffy time.
I thought all this was good. They get the Carmelo Hayes walking on the back. He's got ice on his head. Aldis says, you lost. We're going to have the best of 7. What else happened backstage? So we got the Phantasma shit with the Nick and Santos Escobar. I didn't care about that. Like, it's not going anywhere.
So hang on a second. He said they wanted a match.
Has a moment. Yes.
They wanted a match. And there's going to be a match next week for them. It's going to be a surprise. Look for the Motor City Machine Guns to come in.
Well, that's where it's coming. Yes.
Yes.
By the way, did you see the latest rumor on the El Mexico tag team that was supposed to debut tonight from AEW?
Penta, El Miedo del Zero, and Rey Fenix.
They were supposed to debut tonight against them.
It's just people making things up.
I'm just
That's people making things up on the internet.
What I read.
Penta's got 3 months left.
And that it's real or not.
Rey Fenix has like 9 or 10 months left due to being out with all the injuries. And neither one of those two schmucks are going anywhere. Oh, the WWE printed up masks. They made masks. They did this. They did that. Sean Ross Sapp and Meltzer were saying. They're going to do this. It's all right. BS.
I didn't believe it either until I heard that Vince McMahon stuck his tongue up their ass. And I said, well, they're coming in now.
He did what?
Just seeing if you're listening. No, the rumor was they were coming in tonight, and that's what pissed Tony Khan off. And he said, that's it. I'm adding 3 months to your contracts.
This right now,
you get no tongue action.
These groundskeepers outside are wearing masks. Damn it, pal.
Oh, that joke should have stayed inside, I guess. Anyway, moving on. Solo Sikoa cuts a promo. We get back, and the Motor City Machine Guns vignette comes up, and it promises next week. The DIY, the Street Profits are having this backstage shit, and that's when you see Kevin Owens kicking the shit out of Randy Orton.
Right. Had to take sides. You had to take sides.
Had to take a side now. We're done with the whole down the middle thing, right? Like, you got to take a side. You're either on Kevin Owens' side or you're on Cody Rhodes' side, correct?
And what it did was it opened up Kevin Owens into two new feuds, one with Cody, one with Randy. And instead of just feuding with the Bloodline every week, one with Cody, one with Randy. Two big matches that will be coming up. I know they did it before. There'll probably be a stipulation match between Owens and Rhodes sometime in the immediate future to spice it up. They just can't run it back from
I really feel like they're going straight to the well, they can't do the Saudi show, right? Like, they can't do it there. Yeah.
But somebody can interfere in that Gunther match. Gunther versus Cody. So Cody Rhodes loses. And Gunther wins the crown jewel belt.
Now that you've got something there, Bottles. I can see that. That would make the most sense. And by the way, I'm going to tell everybody in this chat that you're talking shit about Block Larry. Be aware of it. He's going to come back with a vengeance. Yeah.
Block Larry? Where is Block Larry?
You don't want to know, pal. You don't want to know. But I can see that, Bottles. I like where your head's at on that, pal.
How do you look out the window? Is there a guy with a Q and a Miller Lite in his hand?
Dude, I love where your head's at on that, man. That makes so much sense. It really does. To have him come down and screw him out of that title and screw him out of being that makes a lot of sense.
Of course.
I tip my hat, sir. That makes so much sense.
Keep Gunther strong.
Right.
And Cody Rhodes is the number one.
And it doesn't take anything away from Cody. It takes nothing from Cody if you do it that way.
It adds heat to the feud.
Right.
Definitely.
Heading into Survivor Series or Saturday night's main event? Which one?
Saturday night's main event.
I think so too. I think Kevin Owens somehow finds himself involved in the Survivor Series on the other side of the Bloodline feud, where he didn't want to be to begin with, right? Like, that would be the ultimate betrayal. You screwed me over. I'm joining the other guys on the Bloodline.
Well, the other guys of the Bloodline, of the new Bloodline, one of them rammed his car with his car.
Yes,
sir. To kill him.
Yes,
so
sir.
I don't think he's going to be paired up with those guys.
I don't know, man. I mean, wrestling makes some.
I could see Kevin Owens cutting in that Bloodline match at War Games. I could see him taking bolt cutters and cutting the chain and going into the ring. And there was no DQ there. He'd go in the ring and jack up Cody Rhodes. If Cody Rhodes
wrestling makes weird allies and enemies, pal. That's all I'm saying. When it's done right,
fellows, as they say.
Right.
Yes.
Very good.
There's a lot of moving parts to this promotion right now and all these different feuds where they all overlap. Look at the Judgment Day and now Nia Jax and Stratton, how all that's overlapping. And Naomi is in the mix.
Yeah, in the middle of all of it. She just beat Nia Jax.
Mm-hmm. She looks a lot happier now because her husband's back on TV with her.
That she's getting a push. That's good. Anyway, I'm not going to get too far into this. Big Jim versus Solo Sikoa. Solo won. You knew that was going to happen. Out comes the Bloodline. Out comes Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns gets over 4 minutes, and the numbers start piling up, and that's the end of the show.
Sure.
That's how it ended. You know, Roman got his ass kicked. Blah blah blah.
And everybody's waiting. Everybody in the crowd is like looking up at the ramp. Like, anybody coming out? Anybody going to help these guys? Anybody coming at all? Nothing. Cody's he's on his tour bus. He left. He got in his bus and rolled out. They
told him to leave. They said, "Get the hell out of here, Cody. We don't need you."
Is that how Nick Aldis said it? Is that what Nick Aldis said?
Get on the bus, you piece of shit.
There you go.
I think that's how he said it. I don't know. I can't do a great English accent sometimes.
I'd love to see Nick Aldis put the tights on one last time. And
It has to happen, right? He's never
happen.
had a match that
He's
I can
not
recall.
Not hurt. Didn't have to retire.
Right.
He could take that suit off and just go out in his boxer shorts and wrestle Adam Pearce. Why did Adam Pearce retire anyway?
Look at him. Just look at him. Do you want to see that Muppet in the ring every night? I sure as shit don't. He fits the part of a GM more than he does a professional wrestler. He just does. Nick Aldis looks like the manager you never want to work for, because if you want to talk shit, he will beat your ass like you owe him a paycheck. Bitch, you didn't give me my goddamn TQ numbers last month. Like, I don't want to mess with Nick Aldis. I will talk shit to the other guy all day and let him know he's a pencil neck geek. Nick Aldis will beat my ass like I owe him a paycheck.
Adam Pearce. Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce.
That piece of shit.
As I used to call him. That piece of shit. He's a great GM. Fantastic.
He's great in that role. Great in that role.
Yes, he excels. He excels.
That was our review of SmackDown. Bottles, do you have any other news to get through tonight? Because I am so excited for what I saw tonight. I am geeked over that show. It was
a chef's kiss. Absolutely. It was fantastic.
It really was.
It was fantastic. Don, when you think back about all the old wrestlers that are floating around out there still alive from the good old days, from the salad days of televised cable TV professional wrestling, guys who became household words and guys who fell on hard times. Say it. Hard times.
Talk about hard times, baby.
There's a man who rises and falls and rises and falls and rises and falls, gets fitted for a catheter, rises and falls.
Ric Flair.
He's on his, sixth wife now?
Ric Flair.
I lost count. Ric Flair, the great Ric Flair.
What's he doing today?
Just when you think that no one can step on their D in professional wrestling.
What did he do today that I missed?
He talked about the people in Florida and the people in North Carolina. Hit hard by the hurricanes. He said, this is so tone deaf. I'm so sorry for being in Las Vegas, reaping the benefits of being the personality I am. I'm so sorry for everything, all the suffering, all the hardships people are going through in Tampa, where I live. I can't give you $100,000, but I will donate $1,000 to whatever charity you would like. And I'll supply Tampa with all the energy drinks that are needed to keep everyone's energy up. So much respect for my grandson Carter and all the volunteers that are working so hard to help in the recovery efforts. Energy on me. Just tell me where and when to send it. Or rather, when and where to send it. He started off, Don, by saying he's so sorry for being in Las Vegas, reaping the benefits of being the personality I am. And much like Logan Paul unloading pallets of Prime on people. The cancer-causing sports drink. Prime.
Look, at least he was unloading the shit, like helping him out the way he could.
Who? Logan Paul?
Yeah.
That's a tax write-off for product he couldn't move.
It might be, but it ain't goddamn woo with that mushroom tip in the cup. Sorry.
The Prime energy drink has been broken down by scientists who it's been rumored to cause. It's got 4 different compounds in it that can cause cancer over prolonged periods of use.
I've also read that study. It was by Canadian doctors, and they don't want the drink there because it competes with their own nationally celebrated energy drink. Just so you know. Not American scientists, not the FDA, Canadian assholes. I'm going to put that out there now. You can look it up, Google it yourself.
Have you ever drank Prime?
Oh, yeah. Got a bunch of it.
What?
Yeah. Got a bunch of Prime.
Really?
Yeah. Better than Gatorade, to be quite honest.
Any blood in your urine?
No, just what I should. But that's
Then you're
normal.
okay.
Don't eat them hot ones, pal. They'll come back and get you. Buffalo Wild Wings, you owe me money. Bottles has left the show. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. He's back.
I'm sorry for everything, Don. I'm sorry for being in Vegas, reaping the rewards, the benefits.
Why would you even put that kind of a tweet out, man? What kind of a idolist, what kind of a self-absorbed prick are you, man?
He's a drunken.
Conrad Thompson, come talk to your father-in-law. He's a dickhead.
He's a drunken, self-aware, self-absorbed idiot. Did you know that Brian Danielson's son Buddy got kicked out of school for aggressive behavior? I'm just throwing it out there to you. It's true. True story.
Screaming yes as he left the school.
I think he was, and he says he's got osteoporosis, and he cut his own forehead.
I swear to God, the shit that comes out sometimes, pal, I can't deal with it. Brian Daniels.
Have you seen MJF on the set of Happy Gilmore? Have you seen?
I have not. No.
I've got it for you right now. Hang on a second.
Oh, I got to see this. Please pull this up. I want to see what this jackass has been doing that's making $5 million a year in AEW to not wrestle. I can't believe Tony Khan let his number one star leave to shoot a movie and not wrestle.
Well, pal, look, I mean, this isn't the greatest of videos here. This is a scene where they're coming out of, I guess, a court, some townhouse or courthouse or whatever. There's a cop.
There's a marriage of some kind.
Something's going on. Well, you'll see MJF come down to the
Hit
left
the play
of Adam
button,
Sandler's Happy
pal.
Gilmore.
That scene is that
I saw him. Yeah, I saw him.
Exciting times, Don. Exciting times.
I hope the movie's good because, look, here's the truth. Usually when you get a classic comedy made into a sequel, it almost always sucks. It's rare that it's as good as the first one. Let's go down the list. Caddyshack 1, classic. Caddyshack 2, dog shit.
God awful.
Ghostbusters, classic. Ghostbusters 2, Bobby Brown song, horrible. The Anchorman, hilarious.
Yes.
Anchorman 2, trash. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Going to the well too many times. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Going to the well too many times. Don, have you heard about the Seahawks and 49ers game the other night? They had some very important people, some very important celebrities there.
Oh, we're going to do this. Folks, hold on. Let me test my mic. Can you hear me? Is this thing on?
I think it is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We keep getting told that Darby Allin is a mainstream star, that he's a homegrown talent, that everybody in Washington State knows who the hell this guy is. Everybody in Washington loves Darby Allin.
Right.
So they said, you know what we're going to do? We're at a football stadium that holds 68,000 fans. We're going to pimp AEW tonight. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Or don't. He's trying to cue it up for you all. Or not. I don't know. Bottles, hit the play button, dog.
Volume's up.
There's no video.
Huh?
There's no video playing on my screen. Anyway, I'll set the picture
Don.
for you.
Hang on, Don. There it is.
There we go. What the shit? Now hit play.
It's great. If you missed it the first time, there it is again.
The crowd did nothing. Nothing.
They said, who are these people?
What the hell is
these
AEW? What the shit is AEW? That's what they said. And they said, there they are. They said, the 17-year-old and the fucking horse, excuse me. That's too loud.
What's AU? What's AU? What is it?
Awful Everything Wrestling? Okay, I've never heard of this brand.
Does this man own other clothes? That's all I want to know.
He definitely does not own other boots. He's got Frankenstein boots, and that's all he's got.
He's got the mesh out there, shirt.
He walks out there like looking like a hideous chud every time he's on screen. And the horse goes, I'm here. Who wants to ride this pony? I'll take $1 to not. Thank you very much.
It's the shit.
Horrendous.
Man. Just the shits. Absolutely terrible.
What are you looking for now? I can see you scrolling so hard for something.
There's something I wanted to go into. Something I would have mentioned, but
well, what is it before we get to it? Bottles is so giddy right now. You can't see the screen that I see. He's scrolling like a pyromaniac lighting fires in a parking lot with no cars around. He's so excited.
I've got it right here. Dave Meltzer at the Wrestling Observer newsletter this week has said AEW attendance has dropped almost to WCW 2000 levels. WCW year 2000 levels. If you weren't around for that, kids, they were pretty grim.
Dude.
Pretty grim. Not good at all.
Before we go, I want to say something about Dave Meltzer's latest comments. Dave Meltzer said that AEW was going to make more money than any WWF or WCW show between 1994 and 1998. That was Dave Meltzer's quote because they were making $140 million a year on a TV contract or $150 million a year. It's not 180, kids. Stop reading your favorite dirt sheet writer before you go to bed. They're not making a guaranteed $180 million. Shut the hell up. That's not what they're making. Back to my point. Meltzer continued, they're going to make AEW, that is going to make more money than WWF or WCW in that time. What Meltzer did not say is how much the business has changed, how streaming has changed everything. He did also not mention words like, I don't know, inflation. Words that matter in an economic sense. Because Dave doesn't want to put out the facts. Dave wants to put out what fills his narrative. Dave wants to put out what puts money in his pocket. Because Dave owns a stake in WC or in AEW. That's why Dave always flaunts them, always puffs them up, always fluffs them like a porn star director in 1987.
Easy, pal. Easy, pal.
He's got to get Peter North ready to shoot the set.
Pal, he's probably home filling his narrative right now. It's a Friday night.
Thank you, Motorhead, for joining tonight. We hope your son played well. Thank you for the $5 super sub. You tell Junior we're watching him. We're watching you, Junior. You tackle everybody. If it moves, you hit it.
We're watching you, Junior. That was my Low Plains Drifter impression. Yeah, we're watching you, Junior.
That was pretty good. That is my state of affairs on that, pal.
I've got one last story, Don. It's you could say this is about Meltzer and Tony Khan. People in the TV industry are starting to catch on how badly David Zaslav.
Yes, I've read this. I've read
fleeced
this
by Tony Khan. Now, I wouldn't say fleeced, but I would say Tony Khan's getting a pittance. But they vastly overpaid for AEW. They really have.
Way overpaid.
Way overpaid, but he did not get what he wanted. He wanted WWE levels of money, and they know It's just not worth that. Anyway, here's a quote from a media executive who spoke
Now,
with
hold on.
John-
Before you go on this, this is not me. This is not you. This is a media executive that saw what happened on Tuesday night this week and shook his head and said, damn, son, you're going to get fired, essentially, right?
Aren't they right? Aren't they head to head again next Tuesday?
They might be.
I think
Because
they
the
are.
baseball playoffs are coming, son.
I
By the
think
way,
they
again,
are. I
thank you,
think
Brother
they're
Motorhead.
head-to-head.
We appreciate it, man. I hope your boy
Yes,
played
sir.
well tonight. Thank you.
Yes, sir. This is a quote from a media executive who spoke with John Orand of Puck. Puck is a media, all things digital media website that covers digital media business
Right. Yeah.
and business news and notes. And he's the guy who originally broke the story of the media deal's been, the TV deal's been done. All Tony's got to do is sign it. It's for this amount of money, this, that, and the other. And everyone picked up on it. So
Right.
this guy's got, he's got his finger on the pulse of what's going on with this contract. On competition outside the squared circle, quote, if the reported numbers are true about David Zaslav re-upping with AEW, what must he be thinking when WWE's minor league show NXT destroyed them head-to-head in the
There it
ratings
is.
this week?
There it is.
874,000 versus 329,000. It does not appear Warner Brothers Discovery knows when or how much to spend. Unquote. A media executive. A nameless media executive.
Hold on.
So-
Before you continue,
Yes.
they paid a sixth of the cost of what Warner Brothers Discovery paid, allegedly, for the AEW deal. 1/6 of the cost they
Of what?
paid of what AEW's TV contract is. They paid a sixth of it.
Who paid a sixth of it?
What the CW channel? They paid 1/6 of what
Yes.
Warner Brothers Discovery paid to have a similar wrestling show broadcast. Is
Right.
what I'm trying to say. For a
Right.
sixth of the money, they got almost a triple fold of viewer audience. You
Of
had
course.
875 versus 300 something thousand.
Of course.
Like that's
ratings
almost
at the-
triple the product.
Well, the ratings that NXT used to do, that price for that amount of ratings, that rating share, was $30,000
My
for
favorite,
one show, Don. For one show.
Right. Yes. My favorite thing to read this week has been the AEW neckbeards and the diehards that can't deal with reality.
Sure.
Well, it was a Tuesday night, and they started at 9, and there was baseball, and my mom had to clean the litter box, and my ex cousin came over.
And she shaved my back and filled my narrative.
I'm just saying, the excuses are wild as shit from the other side of the fence. It's
Yes, of
sad
course.
and pathetic at this point in time.
Of course.
Shut the hell up. You lost. This is over. You're putting
over.
AEW, talking to you, AEW, you're putting out a horrific product. It's shit. A bad executive signed your company, your favorite thing, to a long-term deal. And all I have to do for the next 3 years is shit on it. Then that's all I'm going to do unless you hire a long-term booker, because newsflash, Tony Khan is a mark billionaire's son. That's what he is. He eats glue when no one's watching, and praise to God, we don't see him eating boogers in the dark. Please continue.
On the lighter side of things, folks, if you had any doubts about whether the Big Bang Theory lead-in affected the ratings for AEW, take a gander at this. Big Bang Theory's on. First 5 minutes, 8:05, 8 o'clock, 8:01, 8:02. Right down the bottom of the screen is the logo, AEW TBS.
Right. Yes.
Right there. Big Bang
Screaming,
Theory.
watch our bullshit. Screaming.
Yes, screaming. Please watch our bullshit. And AJ from the Costco guys, Don, said he was going to hope to make a WWE appearance before AEW called him. Because when you think of professional wrestling, who doesn't think of the Costco guys? Who doesn't think of the Costco guys? Some meathead father and his learning disabled son are going to be in AEW, and this guy's going to work a match.
Here we go.
Before I took that call, I said to myself, what, I got so much going on. WWE is really where I want to be. But he's going to wrestle an AEW match. He's signed to a short-term deal for AEW.
This is the worst. This is the worst idea ever. By the way, turns out next Wednesday we get AEW versus AEW versus NXT because of the election deal next Tuesday. There's something going on there. The chat says.
Oh, okay.
So just putting that out there. Thank you for joining us from Australia. We appreciate all the love and support.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think this guy, AJ from the Costco guys, he's bigger than 3/4 of the AEW roster. So
there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
And, Def Rebel, the guys who do the music for all the WWE entrances, they're going to be out very, very soon.
I thought they were already out. That was already announced.
Well, they're not going to renew their contract, but they're still contracted. But that contract's going to run out this year. But unfortunately, Jim Johnston, who made all those classic Attitude Era themes, he will not be brought back. That was already inquired. He won't be.
Well, no shit. That would look. I love Jim Johnston, but that guy was a how do I put it? That's when the company was in a much different era, right? Like way different back then.
Right.
Like it was like, give me a theme for Kane. Let me get my keyboard real quick. Let me just.
And the themes he did were so good. The Undertaker's theme, The Rock, Stone Cold's, they were iconic. Perfect. That the guy eventually, he started drinking his own bathwater. He started thinking it was the greatest thing ever.
I'm an actual musician.
Yes. Well, he is an actual musician. But
no, he's
WWE reported, yes, he is.
He's a theme guy.
He's a theme guy, but he plays the instruments on the theme.
That's awesome. That's like saying what's his name from the 80s is a great musician because he did Top Gun and what the hell was the other movie? Shit, we just said it. Footloose, he did that one.
Kevin Bacon.
No, yeah, he was in it, but I'm talking about the guy that wrote the damn songs. Why can't I think of his name right now?
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins, yes. The greatest movie theme song guy you've never heard of or have heard of. He made every great 80s theme song for a movie you ever heard and then did shit else after that movie. That's it. That's what he was good at.
You know who he screwed over?
Himself.
No, he screwed over the great Eddie Money. Because Eddie Money contributed background vocals to I'm All Right, the theme from Caddyshack. And if you listen to that song, at the middle of the song, you can hear Eddie Murray. He's former Oriole Eddie Murray. He was also on that song. Former Oriole Eddie Murray.
Hell of a switch hitter.
Eddie Money, you could switch hitter. Eddie Money could be heard on the break in the song, singing backup vocals plain as day. Plain as day. That raspy
I did not know that.
Yes, and Eddie wasn't paid for it. He was recording his album like down the hall at the record plant. And he walked up, and they're smoking a spliff, talking, having a couple of beers, shooting a breeze. Hey, I'm doing the backup vocals. You able to come over here and lay some vocals down for the background? Sure, no problem. And he went in and did that and didn't get a cut of it at all.
I'm all right.
Yep.
Don't nobody worry about me. You got to give me some time. Why can't you just let me be?
One of the nights, Don, of WrestleMania 41 is going to be, you ready for this?
Okay.
Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns versus The Rock. One of those two nights.
I don't buy that for a minute. I don't buy that for a minute.
Well, Don, we could dream.
No, I don't want that either. I want to see something else get built. I want to see CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. That's what I want. That's what I want. You want to make me a wish list? Roman Reigns versus The Rock, Brock Lesnar versus Gunther. That's what I want to see.
Nia Jax versus the Beast Mortos. Sign
Nia
that, man.
Jax? No. Nia Jax versus the Diet. Can she kick out?
Nia Jax versus a whole roasted hog on a spit.
No,
How
that's
fast
not
can
even
she
a
eat
fair. That's not a fair contest, man. I'm trying to make a fair fight.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notifications button so we go live. We did not have this show planned, but when we both saw SmackDown, we said, that shit's got to happen. We've got to watch this show. We've got to talk about this show. We cannot wait till Monday or Tuesday. That's all I got to say.
Right here. I got a picture of a guy right here who said he hopes the guys go live tonight.
Oh, God.
What a face.
Hit
Why
the
you put a hairnet
ring-a-ling.
on a man with no hair?
You know what? I don't know.
Why? Why is that?
Hit the ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. You know who wouldn't wear a damn hairnet in the hospital no matter what?
That son of a bitch. No, I know exactly why. Because he's wearing pantyhose.
No.
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.